Just briefly, I'll say that I'm just here as a public service, just to record the meeting. Of course, we're all hoping that the county will start recording and archiving the meetings to make it more accessible to the public. So I'm just here to help out, hopefully in the meantime. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, and if you wouldn't mind my asking, I know last month it can be kind of hard to hear you guys when you're at that small table, so try not to forget about me back here.
Okay.
We'll try to project today.
Yeah.
You're up, Tom.
I'm up, all right.
How's your voice?
No, cool. Pretty feel a cough coming on. Regional EM, that'd be Randy Books, Chautauqua guy that, is the regional EM director, has been for 6-8 years. Is retiring in July, so they're gonna start a search for his replacement. He's been really good with flooding and, comes and helps when we have like storm damage and stuff like that, so very knowledgeable guy, he's gonna be missed. He was 26 years police chief in Oliva, I think it was, down by Arcadia. And then, was the EM in Barron County for 4 or 5 years, 6 years maybe, and now he's had this job through his retirement, so.
Is that a state job?
Yeah. Yep. And they can't advertise it. The thing, the email that came out yesterday, they can't advertise it too soon because they can't hire somebody till this term's over. So his last day in the field is April 25th, but he has sick time saved up to take through July, so they can't replace him till that July date. So the gals from the West Central and the North Central, are gonna be filling in for them. Fire chiefs meeting is on the 26th, we have those quarterly, gives the fire chiefs a chance to come in and, talk to dispatch and the sheriff about things, maybe one way or the other. The sheriff's got something they're doing that he doesn't, he needs to talk about, it's a chance to sit down and talk about that kind of stuff, and if there's something with dispatch that something's aggravated with, then we can get that out in the open and try to get that fixed. Our LEPC meeting, that's the hazmat committee, is the 14th, that's Friday, 10 o'clock, we're in a small conference room, I think we are, cause I think property's probably in here.
I will let you know if I'll be available.
Okay.
I'll know tomorrow.
Alright. The FAWG is funding advisory work group. I am on that for Homeland Security funds. There's like $4 million worth of funds this year and $7 million worth of requests from law enforcement and, stuff like that. That's what it's used for, like, active shooter training. SWAT teams can ask for gear, stuff like that from that group, from that fund. So we've met several times, we parted down to about 6 million at our last meeting, so I think we got another one tomorrow where we gotta get that down to the 4.5 million so we can send it in. So that's on the EM side, and we're starting to, I don't know about you, Thomas, or Terry, but some of the townships are starting to put in a few numbers for their damage stuff, so.
Already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the highway shop has been starting to do some of our work for the county, so, cause we got kind of a lull right now where they can't fix roads or anything. Although somebody said they graded Highway D down where it's dirt, a lot better than it has been.
I was on it the other day, it was really nice.
Yeah, he said it was pretty smooth, so they.
I slowed down and I didn't have to.
So,
They left the grader down there too.
did they? Huh, probably go back and do it again.
Right where the-
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ambulance, 250, not having any mechanical issues right now. They're doing a kindergarten day on the 28th where they go, and show them the ambulance and hand out blue color books and stuff like that. 251, I have on here no issues, that's not exactly true. I gotta order a new set of tires today for it. We blew our second inside dual, last week, so we'll be replacing the back tires on that one.
That's real cheap.
Yeah, I'm sure. And, as of last night, I think I only have 4 or 5 people left that have the fire training and stuff to finish. This fire training, 251 is doing a demo of the Lucas, the cot, and some other stuff for the fire department. I think it's next Monday for Ladysmith. So, 252, nothing. The staff at 252 is now part of 254. So they're invited to all the 254's meetings and stuff in Sheldon. They can come to Ladysmith too, they go either way. But they're now voting members of Sheldon, since there's only a couple of them over there, it's not worth having a squad leader and all that. We do have a timekeeper over there that keeps track of the calendar and puts stuff in and out of our time system. 253, Sheldon Fire, and I believe the sheriff's department's doing a graduation crash down at, on 428 down at the Flammers, over at Flammers School. And 254, I don't know of any issues, and they are, what's today? Must be next week, Tuesday. They're going to the different midnight now in schools to, show the little kids the ambulance, and it's just try to make them less scared of it if it comes and picks up somebody they know. And they have some good things put together with that too. Our EMR refresher, scheduled for this weekend, Saturday and Sunday here in Ladysmith at 16 hours now, so they'll be there Saturday and Sunday. The Sheldon EMT group is providing pizza for them on Saturday, and a donation is providing them subs on Sunday for the training. So, they're gonna provide chips and whatever they drink and all that themselves, but, the main part of that is covered.
You do that in this room or no?
At the fire hall,
Fire
there's just
hall.
more room to spread out. Yeah, I gotta move the trailer right now is over, still at the technical college, I gotta move it over there for them for this weekend, so I'll do that tomorrow too. It's a little enclosed trailer full of equipment for the technical college, so. And they have some there, CPR schematics and stuff are in the storage room over there. The next item, the scope of practice for our crews was updated. I sat down with the doctor for quite a while, went through what he thought we should be doing and not doing. He really didn't have much he didn't want us to do, that was an optional. That was an option to do, other than running a transfer, ventilator. So that's a machine you hook up to the patient that breathes for them. He said, first of all, we shouldn't be transporting them kind of people, and second of all, he said they should go by helicopter, and he said, it's not a skill we're gonna use much. He said if they need that, they should really go by an advanced life support ambulance, not by our minutes. So that's where we're at with that. That was all sent to the state, and now we're updating our operational procedures and our mutual aid agreements for our license at the end of the, June. It has to be in the end of June, and all of our EMS has to be relicensed by the end of June. So, first half of the flex grant's about $86,000 some dollars. Because of, we can't get it anymore. We had to postpone the first half into the second half, so we can close out the second half. There's $91,000 worth of stuff ordered. That's $5,000 out of our budget, $86,000 out of that grant. A new cot, let's see what else is on there, 30-some thousand for the ambulance, and the power lift for the new ambulance, so.
You're talking about the deceit.
No, this is an EMS cost.
I know it showed deceit.
No. The EMS costs were purchased, I think Sheldon was probably 8-9 years ago, Phil, probably. They're nearing the end of their lifespan, so I'm starting to replace them. So, the first one we get, we're going 251, the next one will come with the ambulance, and me and Bruce. And then next year's, budget, I plan to, for another one for Sheldon.
So when is the new ambulance scheduled?
18 months from when we ordered it, and I haven't seen the final drawings yet, so, I would guess, end of 24 before we get it.
Used to be just a year or 6 months.
Yeah, now it's 18, so you can get a remount a little faster, but ours have all been remounted once. Well, no, that's not true, the old two have been remounted once, so they say they can still do it, I just don't trust it. They get pretty beat up on these back roads around here, so it's not like they're running down Highway 53 back and forth to Eau Claire every day, so they tend to last a little longer then. So we'll close out that flex grant, in the second half here between, first half ended in March, second half ended in September. So we'll have, they actually sent me the, invoice, I think they approved it last month, or is it on this month?
It's on this month.
It's on this month, the 91,000, and then they can write the check, and once the check's written, I can close out the grant, so. Tammy Baldwin's office sent a gal, Anna something, can't remember her last name, she came up to talk, she was making her rounds talking to rural, EMS about what we think is, why we can't get staff, why we can't keep staff, things like that, so she sat with me for a couple hours and we talked about, she had quite a list, she'd been around already, to different services, so she already knew what she was looking for, and just input, on what I thought. And of course, I gave her we need to get away from the National Registry and get back to the, if you pass the technical college class, you should be an EMT, not have to then jump through hoops for National Registry. It was a private firm out there making money. They're not a licensing agency, the state is the
And
licensing.
train them for the level they're going for.
Yeah,
Not
instead of trying to,
paramedic for an EMT.
yeah, try to train an EMT to be an entry-level paramedic.
And they require you to get the National Registry to get your
Get your
license,
license.
but then you don't have to carry the National Registry,
No.
so what is the point?
So what good is it? Yeah, so, yeah.
It's been an old argument.
Years and years and years. Phil and I have been fighting that battle for years.
Yeah.
And that's uphill, cause the technical colleges are making money on this stuff too, so, I'm not gonna hold back on that either, so,
But that wouldn't affect an EMT's ability to get training. You
no,
just don't have to get the training for your national registry,
Right.
so.
right, still get them training. And really, they are just entry level when they come out of class. We do a lot of training at the services, Sheldon does their people, Lee Smith does theirs, I have a orientation sheet that's 3 pages long that they gotta be checked off on things that they can do just to make sure they can do them. So they get a lot of the training here anyway, so, and I cut off part of that last line, it was, staff shortages, one of the issues we face in rural and super rural ambulance services, so there should be ambulance services added on to the end of that. So, whatever you call that box, wasn't quite big enough, so, training we're doing right now, the new skills for the EMTs and EMRs, we're doing that stuff in-house. Some of the stuff, monitoring Foley catheters and different kinds of gastric tubes is a allowable skill for an EMT on a transfer now. Well, I think we've been doing it for years, I've done transfers of feeding tube, but now it's required, so now you have to show the state you did training on it. So I did a little training to the squad leaders the other night, and they will take that out.
All you do is watch it, you can't touch it, you can't do
Yeah.
anything to it.
No, you can look at it and say, yeah, there's blood coming into the urine bag. Huh, I'll let the receiving facility know, that's all you can do. If it comes out, you leave it out, you don't put it back in, so it's silly. I asked the doctor to come do the, training and he just snickered. He said, no, I think you can handle this one. So it's pretty much just printed out paper and handed it to him. And EMRs have a little more stuff again too, but not much this time. Fire extinguisher and BPP, bloodborne pathogen training. We're doing that in-house to finish off also. Like I said, I think I got 4 left, one's doing it today, so we'll be down to just 3 of the whole 40-some, that need to finish up, and 2 of them are in college, so I'm gonna send them links for our YouTube videos to do it, and they'll get it done here this weekend. Meetings, emergency department meeting, been doing a lot of LifeQuest meetings online. We are switching our collection service to LifeQuest, was our billing service, so that's all in one place. They sent over the contract the other day, Jamie has that, should be working on that. The funding advisory group I mentioned earlier, disaster assessment work group, which is also for the emergency management side, we've been doing a lot with that, because it's disaster season, and we learned a bunch with the stuff we had here this winter, stuff we had never dealt with before, so. Department head we had yesterday, and of course today's meeting. So that's, unless there's questions, that's what I got.
Any training questions?
And not out of county, none currently.
Well, I'll cut in at this point. This is what Gilman's putting out in their local little shopper paper. The top of it actually says urgent message, but my skills aren't that good, so I missed that part. But we're not that far away from this. You know, ladies was staying up only because, how many, what, 4 from Sheldon, you know, are up here. So that means we're down sometimes. We just need more EMTs, whatever the reason, money, whatever, we need to get it. I mean, we're going down to Gilman right now to help them. They're actually paying a crew, Spiros is,
Mhm.
because they own the ambulance service, to sit in Gilman, but that isn't working all the time either.
They just raised their rates, and what they're paying,
Yeah,
not the rates, but what they're paying, they went up over $20 an hour for an EMT. So is Sawyer, and we're at 16, so that's tough.
and, there's a mutiny going down there. Townships wanna take over the EMRs
Oh,
from Spiros because they're just not getting anything.
yeah, I know Jump River's coming to
Yeah,
our
They always have.
pressure, yeah. They like coming to our
And,
pressure.
1 or 2 major illnesses and we are in trouble.
Mhm. I just had one out with COVID for 2 weeks, that really throws a wrench in things on the full-time side, cause everybody else is putting in all their time on their home ambulances, so they're tired too, so.
Poor Wendell, who was our first responder,
Yeah, he's getting,
covering a lot
He's
because,
getting beat up.
because the hospital is short staffing themselves, so she's getting called in the morning. Dear, wake up, it's like 5:45, they want you to know if you can come to work today. I mean, she worked 4 days in a row, not full days. 2 of them were over 12 hours, and 2 of them were like 7. They're short out there.
yeah.
And what's gonna catch up to us is, well, son, I don't care. Divert.
Mhm.
Reason we're having divert is because they're down to 1 nurse out there, so they don't want ambulances dropping off, so we're supposed to go wherever. But if you drive yourself there, they have to take you, and people are gonna figure that out. I don't wanna ride to Eau Claire or Rice Lake if it's not really that bad. I'm gonna drive out there and walk through the door, then they have to treat me. But they haven't quite figured that part out yet, out there. So,
Well, it'll happen.
yeah, and that's
It'll
gonna affect
start to
us.
catch on, you know.
I mean,
So they're down that many nurses that.
yeah, well, they are everywhere. But,
Yeah, they trimmed so tight that them too, if somebody's sick. I mean, that's why Mary's getting called in, if somebody's sick or can't fill a shift, that she's getting called in.
yeah,
Well, even I can hear it on the scanner.
oh, yeah.
You know, hospitals on divert, hospitals on divert.
Yeah, we were gonna have a discussion about that tomorrow, but they canceled the meeting, so maybe next week when I get ahold of that doc.
So anyhow, I just thought that was interesting.
And that gal I talked to had been down here,
Uh-huh.
Gilman, cause they got a new guy that's running that
Yeah.
again. So they, Bob, I think his name is, something, I can't remember his name, but she was down, talked to him, talked to, even some of the big outfits like Chippewa Fire, Chippewa City, she was over and talked to them too, because they've never had problems getting firefighter EMTs, and they can't get them, because other places are paying more.
Yeah.
And the privates, you know, like Great Divide, it's a private service. The guy that runs the service could say, well, we need to pay $2 more an hour, so that's what we're gonna do, and he raises their rates. Here, you know, by the time you jump through hoops, it's gonna be 4 or 5 months. So we're really lag when it comes to keeping up with that kind of stuff, just because of the process to get that.
Gilman Fire put a couple beds in the fire hall for the ones that are gonna stay there 24 hours a day. You know, definitely better than what we had in the fire hall here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the setup we got here in Lakesville now. is
But,
good.
they're still hot up all the time, so,
No, and neither's Cornell.
yeah.
So we've been covered a little bit with Cornell too, so. I did offer Chautauqua an ambulance, just so you guys know, if they needed an ambulance to cover during the, vigil tonight or the, funerals on Saturday, I offered them to put an ambulance right there, and they said they'll have it covered, so I said, okay. I think Rick's Lake and Barron hospitals are both throwing ambulances at too, so that's great, everybody's working together to get that taken care of.
Do we need to do like a research on surrounding areas and what they're paying the
I can.
EMTs, because I think
can.
we have to, we should be up, you know, we should be on top of it rather than keep behind losing people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cause we have trouble getting them, so.
Yeah, and I told my staff last year I had 2%, because that's what I thought the county was gonna get. Some people in the county did get 2%, some got more. We need to raise it this fall, not just 2%, we need to go up, or we're gonna really start losing people.
Not on each other, but I think, you know, we gotta.
Yeah, I can start
research
researching
those.
for next month.
Yeah, I'm tired into the argument that, well, they aren't full-time employees.
They're actually harder to keep as part-time employees. The
Yeah.
full-time ones are pretty solid, I mean, we haven't had a lot of turnover there, but the part-time, you know, they go to Joe and make $23 an hour and not have any stress from this kind of stuff, so. Yeah, I will have that for next month.
I was gone, but, who's the regional lead?
Randy Books.
Is he?
He's retired, yeah. Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
I
it's
thought.
all right, I thought about it after I looked at it this morning, I didn't put his name on there, but.
That's what I thought it was.
We're having a little going away party for him today at our regional meeting, so.
Yeah.
Randy, who?
Books.
Books.
Yeah, I just heard that, that's what I was thinking it was.
Do you wanna make a note of it so we get it on the agenda next month?
Wage.
Wage
We
increase.
will be discussing.
Yeah.
Discussing. Yeah, we're not gonna be able to.
Process. Start
Start
the
that process.
Mhm.
Okay, who's in charge of PSAP grants, you or sheriff?
The sheriff.
Okay, I'll walk in.
I get some of the information and then I share with George and Jeff, and they get some and they share with me, cause sometimes it's an EM grant that's easier for me to write, sometimes it's DOJ grant that's easier for them to write, so.
I see they released a lot of money and we're not on the list. 39 counties are getting some.
Yeah, there was something with the contract, right, and they resubmitted.
Yeah,
Rusk
and I'm not
resubmitted.
sure Phil and Miranda do all of them.
Yeah, I think Fitzel was in on that too, on that thing.
So it'd be nice to be the top end, get $365,000.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a match to it, but.
Yeah, if you don't get the match, so you're gonna spend 600 and something though. Mhm. Any other questions, or
Okay, get up here, take a look at the vouchers.
pay some bills, yeah? Hey, lady.
Any questions on? Tom explained the big one already.
The 91,000, yeah. I also had to order a new suction unit for our transfer animals yesterday, the one that was in there was the last of our 2,000, suction units, I believe they were bought in 2000. The last one died in 253 the other day, they went to check it, and went good, and that was it, she burned up. So I ordered a new one
Sort of been
yesterday.
like that for a long time.
Yeah, it's just not good, so I ordered a new one yesterday, it should be here tomorrow.
The workers' comp premium, is that the annual or? is it-
Annual, yeah.
That's not on here, that's something.
No, cause I just ordered it yesterday, it'll be on next month,
Is
but
that a cost add?
$1,400. I just
No,
told
it's
you.
a cheap item compared to everything else.
Yeah, I just told you because it's over the 1,000, I'm supposed to send it as a replacement, a spend, I mean, but it's a replacement, it's not, I'm not buying a new piece of equipment, it's something we, according to state, have to have in the truck, so,
Right.
yeah.
So that city of Ladysmith, that's water and sewer?
Yes,
Lordy,
and
glad
I don't
live in
know if
Ladysmith.
that's quarterly or monthly, I don't remember seeing that.
Usually they're quarterly.
It's quarterly,
Is it?
and it's outrageous.
That's high.
Yeah, it makes Sheldon look really good.
Yeah,
Change.
you guys can raise your price down there. Yeah, that stuff all goes through the clerk's office, so I don't even see those.
Yeah.
I think that's where they go, right, Ashley?
Yep.
All the utility bills go through them, yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the bills.
Okay, got a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Moved in second, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, pay the bills. Oops, okay. Budget review.
I think they sent out 2 this time, did they? That's what they sent me, last year's and this year's. I just gotta get the right one on here. Last year, we ended up with, so far with 22,600 to the black, with everything that's entered so far. And that's not including the emergency government grants, which we haven't got paid for yet, which will be about 44,000. So that'll put us further in the black for last year. So that's last year's. And the ambulance grant being 61,000, you know, that 90 or 86,000, whatever it was, that part of that 91,000 checkup come over there, so. We're gonna add 40, but we're gonna take that out, so. And this year, there was one line that we're maxed on, but it's because we had, we got 2 refreshers we paid for this spring, so it'll be fine, there's not that much more training stuff folks have a great day, get outside, enjoy the sunshine a little bit if you get an opportunity. I'm gonna put the windows down in the Jeep and head to school. Did any of you see the baseball game? They were broadcasting, pitcher winds up and throws it, and a pigeon or a seagull flies by, smacks it, the feathers fly. 1 in 6 million chance that could happen or something. They've never had it before in a major league game. The bird didn't do too good.
I like when they show all the first pitches of the year too.
Yeah.
Some of them are really poor.
Yeah, that takes them a while to get figured out again. All right, thanks, everybody.
They go to practice.
Have a good day.
Okay, ready to go to Denver?
Okay, we've got, the statistics for March. We had 3 natural deaths, 8 cremations, 7 hospice, 0 on-call time and 0 donation calls. The savings sheet, you guys all have that if you wanted it, it's self-explanatory. The decedent cat is still not here. Okay, last month, I told you guys, I called them at the beginning of the month, they said 6 to 8 weeks, so it's just about at the 6th week. So I'm gonna have to,
You ask them starting when?
Right.
What are they giving for an excuse?
they're not giving me any excuse.
No.
I mean, it was 9 months to start, I think.
It will be right,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to think, and I think it was September 2021 when it was ordered,
Sounds about right.
yeah. Just, I have no idea. It keeps getting littler and littler though.
I know for a, we need another vendor,
Yeah,
Probably is.
well, I thought about contacting Inferno, they're the makers of this cot, directly, and seeing what they could do,
Might not be a bad idea.
so. I'll get on that then.
Well, we knew it was gonna take a while, not this long.
Not quite this long.
For my activities, I have, I'll just print you guys off like a sheet of kind of like what I've been doing online. Of course, I only had 3 deaths, in March, so I had a lot of extra time. I did a lot of webinars and a lot of, online classes that were free. And of course, I've been working on, the class, that you guys authorized me to take. That is 277 sessions, so that's gonna take a while. And none of those are on here, I'll do that all at, put that down all at once. But, last month, the only meeting I attended was the meeting here. My special points of interest is, I'd like to let you guys know, I kinda wanna set some goals for things that, need to be done and, things that I wanna do. My goal right now is to, have intake forms, all set and ready so that we don't forget questions, we don't forget to do things that we should be doing, especially in different kinds of deaths. We have your fire deaths, your drownings, your car accidents, you have to ask different questions and, find out different things. So in the next 12 weeks, I'd like to get that all put together and, I'll bring that to you guys and let you take a look at that, but that's my goal for the next 12 weeks. Deputy, we have interviews next week. There is no, training requests. I have 1 invoice on the, on my bills.
How many deputies are you gonna interview? How many do you have? Just 1 or? I mean, to interview.
4,
Okay.
4, yeah. So it should be a good selection. In my budget, there was accidentally put $960 of, Tom's training in my budget, so course, I'm talking peanuts when he's talking great big numbers.
Well, that'd just be something done internally, right? After
Yeah.
this?
Yeah, just a transfer,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep, so she's gonna transfer, or Jane's gonna transfer. But any questions for me? Kinda like, what I'm doing and what's going on. In our department heads meeting yesterday, we had, a discussion on, maybe everybody doesn't know like kind of what, you might not know exactly what our department does. So I'm gonna try to put together a little 5-minute, little presentation for you guys to kind of let you know kind of what I do and why I do it. Not just because the state says, but, why I do it and do it that way.
Any questions on the bills? There's one more. Is there a motion
Is
to?
there any update on that skull?
Oh, yeah, she's down at the state, crime lab, and they're doing DNA testing right now. They're hoping that they can extract enough DNA, so that they can, because they have to do this testing first, run it through, all like CODIS and stuff. They have to do it, in a sequence. They're hoping they have enough DNA because they're thinking that she's not gonna be in CODIS, because she was probably a medical specimen. So then what they'll do is they'll do the genealogy on her and, try to figure out what family she came from and go from there. Cause all we know is that she was deceased before 1995 or 4 or something like that.
She was deceased before that?
Yeah, that's when she was
recovered.
found, yeah.
Recovered, so.
Were they able to determine an age?
Yeah,
It was a female between 18 and 24 or something.
something like that, yeah,
And non-native.
right, Caucasian probably.
Okay.
And I mean, when I looked at it, I never seen this stuff, but, there was kind of like a little drill hole, in her head, like where, you know how you take those round drills to kind of cut a hole? Yeah, it was kind of like there, like just a starting of one, and then there was a couple cut marks, and the, anthropologist was thinking that it was probably a medical specimen. But how she got to where she was, I mean, she shouldn't be sitting in my office, I have enough people sitting in there. But, yeah, so if we can find out where she goes, that'd be great. So far, it looks like everything is going to be of zero cost to us. I mean, I'm sure someone's paying for it, but, yeah. So the update now is they're just trying to make sure they get enough, DNA out of the teeth that they have and running it through CODIS. She hasn't been down, she went on the 15th, so she hasn't been down there, not quite a month. Yep,
I'll make a motion to pay the bill.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Budget.
we've spent 6% of the budget. Like I said, I haven't spent very much, but, 960 of that is gonna come off there. So unless we have some major things happen, which of course it's probably in the summer, a little bit more car accidents and things of that sort, so, but a very quiet last 2 months.
So on this one sheet, here, it says percent of levy left 11.
Oh, on that one, that's last year's, so.
Oh, that's last, okay.
Yep, so we were in the black last year. Yeah, we did good.
That's cool, fire. Or turn the page.
That always helps, right?
Put it all on one page if you can.
Yeah.
Forestry appreciates paper usage.
Anything else?
Any questions on the budget? Looks good.
Thank you.
Okay, Sheriff?
Morning. Our daily average for March was 27.
Have a good day.
Electronic monitor again. And still are housing 4 out of county, 1 at our expense, 3 are not our expense. 3 requests for training, if we can get through on.
Won't be on the requests already. So move.
Second it. Any further discussion?
I just got a question, what's rescue tactics for patrol? They stumble on something and.
Well, it's, lost people, searching and things like that, and, we've been doing a lot of, tactical meds. So, that's all part of that, so.
Any other questions? Motion to move it, motion. One second. Okay, all in favor of the training, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. One question on, that count, at 27, how full is the jail because of, segregation and stuff that you have to do?
The jail at 27 is about the halfway mark, so it's still, it's less people, but you still have the same number of segregations, so you still need the same amount of room. They're working with it as close as they can, we can. We just talked with, George and I talked with, another, sheriff's department, and, in their area, all their daily numbers are going up, so ours are just kind of fluctuating right in there for now. I don't know the reason for that. Maybe they're scared to come to us now. I hope that's the reason.
And I know the staffing level, obviously remains the same, right?
Yeah.
I just was curious how difficult it is when you have 50 and stuff of keeping them
Yeah.
separated.
Yeah, it's still the same number of segregation issues that you have, as whether you have 15 or 50.
Did you do the interviews on the new, no?
No, they got postponed. They're supposed to be tomorrow and we're,
Now it's the 27th.
now it's the 27th because of the funeral. You can see the meetings attended, upcoming events is the funeral on Saturday for the Chitek Cameron officer. Open to the public, for viewing at 9 AM Saturday morning until 1. Then the service will be from 1 to, there's gonna be 1 hour and a half.
Where are they?
It's at the Cameron High School.
Both of them?
Yeah, it's a joint funeral. And there'll be a law enforcement processional, there'll be no graveside. That is that. And the one, calls for service sheet, you see that, we changed that out a little bit. There used to be about 30 items on there. decided to move that, cut that down to what we feel are the bigger culprits that we deal with. If there's something that you were watching on the sheet that you're really interested in, let me know, we can get it back on. But this is, these are the bigger, more serious offenses that, we wanna stick with, so. Any questions and concerns on that, please let us know.
The only one is, well, it's two is, one is, EMS calls and fire department, then, you know, we should be keeping track of fire department versus fire call versus lift assist. You know, cause we don't want them come complaining to us if they're doing too many of them.
And I don't know that, and if that separated out lift assist versus
If
just
they
fire
can.
call.
Cause it'd be easier for you to get it than,
I don't think it's separated now. It's
Okay.
We can, if they add it as a lift assist and not just a fire call, then we can probably, we'll look into that. Okay.
this is probably easier for you guys up there to do it than Tom to do it, so.
Okay.
That's my thought anyhow.
Okay, any other questions? Otherwise, we're down to payment of the bills. Don't ask our questions, cause Miranda's not here.
Since you really kind of get, or correct speech when you get caught up on, I know it's here from December of 22, which I think that's an annual.
That's our annual 911 stuff. Yeah.
That, I'm just curious, that cage, that's for the new K-9?
Yes. No, that is for, Reisner's, because of the vehicle change. What he has does not fit in.
Gotcha.
in the new vehicle. And that's all covered through the K-9 donation funds and the grants that we've got.
Ladies, just family restaurants, that about what meals are running?
Yes.
Well, there were fewer people in February short. That's why it's lower than last year.
And that's still working out very well?
What's that?
That's still working well?
Yeah,
Okay.
I've only got one inmate that complains often, but it's the same one.
You said
Same
that-
inmate, same complaint every time.
You said that last month too.
Yeah. But other than that, as far as I know, inmates love the meals.
And then you're getting getting the, juice milk, et cetera, that's getting that from other vendors, so
Yeah, it comes through Cisco.
save some money though.
They deliver directly here instead of to the family restaurant. It's delivered right here and stored in the big fridge upstairs.
Most pay bills.
Moved and seconded, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Moves us to the budget. Any questions on that? I got a note here from Miranda saying that we did receive the 2022 water patrol reimbursement. As far as this year, I can tell you, it's gonna be ugly for a while. We're down 3 in the jail right now. George is actually working one of the shifts, to try and come down on overtime. Not only overtime, but to give the people time off on their days off, because it's not good. So, we wanna get them interviews done as soon as we can. Just been to the 6.
What's full staff?
6 more. Three will put us back. No more questions, discussion. Canine purchase, we're going to purchase another patrol dog. That way we will have a patrol dog on nights all the time. One of our canines is probably getting to that end of life thing as far as working, and I don't wanna wait till it's done. We have the money in the canine fund that's all donated and grant stuff, so it's not a levy item. Never really had much in our budget for the canine other than the donations. So, that probably will happen August, right in there. It'll be sent, over by St. Croix, training will be done with it.
What is the normal life for a canine?
6 to 8 years probably of working.
Which ones?
Kona, just the drug dog. Yeah.
So what will happen?
She'll live with Riley.
So will Riley get a new canine?
We'll see what happens when
Oh.
he gets that far, but I want to have a dog out there. But with the way things are, I really think a dog would be very valuable to us.
How long does it take them to train a dog before we get, I'm just curious.
The dog is untrained until the handler gets it, and they're both trained together.
They can train them that fast?
12 weeks. This place is over by St. Croix where we got the last 2 dogs from. So I give them, canine guys, we sit down and discussed it, and then they want to stay there, so.
What's the normal fee for this?
It's about 20,000, training the dog and everything, 22,000.
That includes training for both
Both.
the handler and.
Trainer's hard to train.
But we, I think it was, right around 20, but then we will get a grant back through the handler. He has information to a grant that will save us $7,500, towards the purchase of the dog, so, and training, so. So I think we're back down to around 13,000, which is a huge cut.
Just for curiosity, if a deputy that handles a dog leaves, do you have to do the whole training?
And depending on the age of
I'm
the
just
dog,
curious.
if it's still a young dog, but most of the time, a new handler can be trained to it. But you get past that halfway mark, then it's really hard. But,
When you retire, is it because, do they just lose interest in it?
no, it's a lot of it, shepherds, they get to be where they have a lot of hip problems, health problems, and down the road, it's in and out of that truck, jumping in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Yeah. I know later when I had mine and they got older, I rigged it when the door opened, the step come out to make it a double, so it wasn't as big a jump, but when they come out of there, they're not gonna use a step, they're coming out at 100 miles an hour, so.
Yeah.
They're jumping off of it, the side, which at a young age for a dog is no big deal, but you start getting 8, 9 years old,
I'll make a motion to proceed with the new canine.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
does that need to go forward to property being that it's paid for through the donation rather than out the levy?
We'll turn it over to Ashley.
I would think it probably still should, it should be real quick.
That's fine, I don't have an
I
issue
mean,
with
at
it.
least they're aware of it then.
Yeah.
When I tried to
Terry
pull a
knows.
fast one, yeah.
I'll just say Terry knows, how's that?
Lead off your discussion's already paid for.
Yeah.
Okay. Hiring in the jail, we kinda talked about that a little bit already, things are pretty difficult, but it's not just difficult here, it's to be everywhere. We've kinda talked about, is there anything that we can do, as an incentive, you know, could they get their vacation in the first year instead of waiting a year? What can we do to attract them to wanna come here versus come somewhere else? I don't know, we sat down and probably wrote down about 3 things that we could think of that don't cost the county a lot of money, to do it, but, so I guess what I'm asking is for you guys, if you could kinda think about it a little bit, and, I'll leave it on the agenda for next month, maybe we can discuss if there's some kind of incentives that we could do to help make it more appealing for them to come here. You know, maybe instead of a hiring bonus, maybe a retention bonus. That you stay, we'll give you this, bonus, but you're gonna stay a year to get this much of it, 2 years to get this much of it. You know, but how big of a bonus is that? You know, I mean, that's kind of the things we come up with, adjusting the comp time, being able, instead of locking it at this much a year, you can only have this much on the books, but there's no cap into it. Just because of the overtime that's created, so anyhow, if you guys can think about that, that's kinda why, kinda got that on there. And separation jail and dispatch, we keep that on there, but I can tell you, 2 of the last people that we offered the position to said if it was one or the other, they would be on board. I can tell you we lost the one to Chippewa because it's one or the other. So I think that would make a difference in hiring and retention if they were separate, because dispatch is so technical anymore that, not everybody can do it, just can't anymore.
Is our salary fairly competitive?
Well, they both make the same right now, so, I mean, and yeah, I don't think our salary, is the issue here. It's just that, they don't want to do both. It's, you know, those that we do hire, we train in the jail, get them going in the jail so we can get them working, and then we try to implement, dispatch, and that's when some of them say, you know, I just can't do it, you know. So, we've been asking those that, that we are considering hiring to go spend a few hours up there, and, we've had 2 just say, no, just so too overwhelming,
Well, there's a different skill set, I think.
It is, I mean, back when I started, in the 90s, you had your radio, and your phone, and you had a pad of paper and a pen, that was dispatch. Not anymore. I mean, there's 5 computer screens, and, you know, so it's yeah, so, something we need to seriously talk about. I know we've talked about it, and it's gonna take more people, more staffing. Yes, where's that money gonna come from? We get it, we understand, we've had this conversation, you know, what do you think about this conversation? And I get it, but it's the reality of life here and how the world is going, so. You know, I'm not saying we can fix it today, but we need to seriously discuss this stuff, to move forward here. Okay?
I was kind of, when I saw the dispatch room, I was thinking, wow,
that's all on your IT, so. We probably have enough going on that we could have our own IT guy. You don't hear that. But anyhow, that's why that's on there, I'm gonna keep it on there so we can discuss that.
So you think she's got a hearing problem?
Yeah, I think so.
Selective.
Yep.
Yeah. So, that's all I got, unless you got more questions on anything.
I guess how eminent is it that the state might require us to separate the two? I know that's what it's like.
I don't know if they said we absolutely have to separate jail, they highly recommend it. I don't think that they really said you will do it, do they?
I don't know that they can.
Alright, but they highly
Right,
recommend
they
it.
highly recommend it. I don't know if they
Cause
physically can
there's
say.
four left in the state. Or
Yeah, there's
seven,
very few,
or
but they're
seven.
all working on the separation themselves.
Yeah. You know, Burnett, was working on it, but it was the same thing, it's the staffing, and so, they haven't done it either, but I know I think they're building accordingly, but in their new jail, but, it's the staffing at this point.
So, by separating that, what are we talking about, 5 additional bodies?
Well,
Something like that.
it would take
Something like
4, I think, would be the minimum. If we took, dispatch out of the jail, which it should be, we were willing for now to work with it where it is. We would, with 2 minimum, we could make it work for that. But that's not the correct way to do it. But right now, we're, in our three positions filled, and that's what we're working on now. These are the things that we need to talk about here in the future and work towards and get it, but I want you guys to be aware of it, so you can be thinking about it and we can have more conversations about this.
What's the current date?
Starting is 22 something.
63?
Something like that.
Yeah.
And then I think it tops out at 25. 20, yeah, 25.
25.
No,
Yeah,
wa-
so I
wages
said, I don't
wise,
think the
we're-
wages are the issue, I think it's
Just too much.
it's too much for, to take in, you know, those who've been doing it have come along with it, so it's not like going in and starting over. I mean, they've moved along with each thing that we've added, and, I don't know. But, again, it's not just our problem, it's statewide. Okay.
I've got something to bring up, and sort of talk to Ashley about it. I think we gotta not skip the jail, but we gotta get this radio system going. I mean, look how long it's taking you to get a cot for the coroner. How long is it gonna take for us to get a radio system?
Look how long it's taken us to move that tower.
Yeah,
I mean, it took us 5 months to get licensing.
I think if we would, give the green light, I think Motorola would move forward really quickly. At my last sheriff's conference, they cornered me and wanted to know where we're at with it. I mean, I said, it's in the works, but until we get the green light, I can't say. So I think that it's still on their books, and I think they're looking at it. I'm like you, we need to move forward on that, and
listening to the radio,
because it's gonna get
Yeah.
pushed to the back burner,
Communication out there.
somebody will be ahead of us.
But, you know, just keep in mind that original proposal that we brought back here.
Let me bring that up.
Probably is gonna be a little different.
Yeah.
Well, no, what I was saying is that was only to bring what we have currently back to new.
Yeah,
That doesn't improve anything,
yeah.
that only brings back to new. You know, that's not gonna add coverage, that's not gonna gain us anything, it's just bringing what we currently have back to new.
And then one of the things involved in that too, it might possibly put a repeater on the Big Ben tower.
And again, that's gonna depend on FCC licensing,
Right,
if they're
yeah.
gonna allow us. You know, had we got on the hill down there, I have no doubts we'd have been covered, we'd have been gold. But due to FCC, you know,
Interference.
restrictions or interference with potential other radios down there, that's, well, we couldn't go there. You know, what, is Big Bend far enough? It may not be far enough.
Yeah,
They may have to-
I'm just bringing up ideas.
No, and it just, you know, like I said, that original plan is only to bring back
Yeah.
what we currently have new. There's no upgrade or no making it any better. Not that new equipment will make it better, but it's not gonna gain us better coverage. We're still gonna have the coverage we have.
And it might be somewhat better just because of newer equipment.
And I
things like
agree,
that.
but
But yeah, no, it's not a huge upgrade, it's,
So anyhow,
And that amount was how much?
2.5, I think.
It's 2.2, I think.
Yeah. 2.5 was the safe number, I think.
but yeah, I think that was their safe number, I think.
and I don't know when our next ad hoc building is, I don't know if date's been set for it, yeah, has it? And the other thing I'll bring up, but I won't bring it up this time, I'll just bring it up for discussion. That news article they had on Barron County and St. Croix County, where they're coming in trying to get college credits, people upstairs. They're working with 4 prisoners in Barron County, I don't know if they're doing the same county. But, I mean, you can have all the people you want to, ministers, anybody else, come in here and talk. But I would bet you that, you know, I mean, same thing with social services, the minute they walk out the door, they're fine. You know, it's just a break for them. But anyhow, they're starting to get them, I think they got it, you know, trainable occupations, where they can do some in the jail, 1, 2 sections, whatever their term is. You know, I mean, we're gonna have a lot better resolution of people walking out of the jail than we are right now, if we have 4 of them that are basically on their way to get a diploma out of, Rice Lake. We may not get all 4 of them, but if we get 2 of them, that's a good thing, but I'll wait till you get stable and
Well,
hopefully.
we currently have the GED program.
Okay, this is one step above that.
Correct, well, we gotta get that part first.
Okay.
So, you know, we're working to that extent first.
Yeah,
Once they obtain that,
Yeah.
then they can, I guess nobody's ever asked to go beyond that.
Yeah.
Because right now, they're just trying to get, you know, their basement first with their GED high school diploma thing.
but I think that's, you know, something down the road.
Well, I agree, you know, programming is very important, but this, right now, we're just trying to get these folks their
Yeah.
GED so they can go on to different.
Yeah. I just thought, I was intrigued with it,
No, it's a great program. And the program facilitator that's running Barron County,
yeah,
we lost to Barron County.
yeah, I saw that. I don't know about St. Croix, the news just made a reference to that. but-
Sure, I don't know what they have over there, but.
But they have a fairly new facility too.
Correct.
Sure, I bring that up, don't you?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
you need to have space to.
Yeah,
do
the
that.
space for it,
Yep.
we have very limited space.
Okay, the next meeting date is May 10th, that works for you? Should be a day just about like this.